Good afternoon, everybody. I think we should probably get going now. The first thing to say is welcome to this inaugural webinar from Hoist Group. I hope you're all keeping well at this time of health crisis. And thank you for joining the call this afternoon and taking the time to do so. My name is Simon Jansen. I'm Chief Strategy Officer at Hoist Group. I've been with the company for about 5 years now. And yeah, I'm responsible for group strategy and a number of other aspects at Hoist. With me is my colleague Tero. Tero looks after some core product areas within our organization, particularly Givito, that we're going to talk about a little bit later. Unfortunately, Tero's camera is not working. So instead of live video for him, we're going to show you an image of him. And Tero, if you'd like to just quickly introduce yourself as well. Here is Tero.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Simon. Yes, yes, we are part of Hoist Group nowadays, and we've been here for a year, and we are responsible for the gift card solution Givito, and I will talk about that more later.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tero. Can I just confirm, maybe with Matt, that you're receiving everything loud and clear, and the slideshow is the presentation is working?
Everything's correct so far, Simon. So all good.
Fantastic. Thank you. Great. So let's jump in. Before we launch into the webinar proper, I think it's probably a good idea at this point to just run through the agenda. First of all, we're going to look at 8 ways to manage the cash flow during this crisis. Then we're going to look at 10 points of criteria for selection of gift cards, a very crucial part of this, included with a demo. And then finally, we'll open up the floor to Q&A. Feel free to use the chat function for Q&A. And if you've got any follow-up questions after that, we'll give you details towards the end of the call as to how you can get in contact with us. So just to set the scene a little bit, back in late March, Expedia, which handles something like 1 in every 15 bookings, was reportedly brought down by the sheer volume of requests for refunds as a result of this current health crisis with COVID-19. I also read that Airbnb's existence may be threatened. It's reporting losses of hundreds of millions of dollars for Q1 and is rumored to be trying to raise new capital, or at least looking to. They had planned to float this year, but I think, we will see if that's going to happen as originally planned. Almost all airlines have grounded their entire fleets, with the exception of repatriation flights for people living in foreign countries. Take EasyJet, a large one here in Europe. They've grounded all 330 of their planes and have furloughed 4,000 of their 9,000 staff. This is an unprecedented situation in modern times, and the news is seemingly always bad. So the question is there any light at the end of the tunnel? The answer to that is increasingly yes, there is. According to SDR, hotel occupancy is rising again in China. That's a very healthy green shoot sign. At the weekend, the BBC News reported that Austria is coming out of its full lockdown and is partially reopening this week. And if that works well, they'll reopen a little bit more over the course of the coming weeks in sort of 2 week blocks. So as bleak as things look right now, there is indeed hope. Okay. Nonetheless, and I say somewhat needless to say, we have to pull together as an industry now to survive during the crisis and to thrive after it. For this to happen, we need to ensure that we manage, contain, even rescue our cash flows, which is the lifeblood of any business and therefore any hotel. When that cash flow dries up, not only does the business go bust, but it's very, very difficult to resurrect again. So we must do everything we can to present that, and that's going to be the core theme of the starting part of this webinar today. And it's particularly difficult in a situation where, with the global population locked down, hotels have almost no incoming revenue, but you still have costs, and those costs are eating into what reserves you have. So there is a dilemma that we need to navigate through. What's strange here, though, as well, or what's an opportunity here is there are even ways that we think we can help you not only rescue your cash flows, but perhaps even improve certain aspects of it. And really, the Givito presentation part that we will come on to later is symptomatic of that, and we'll walk through that in a little bit more detail later. So let's start. The first element here is to boost and protect your revenues. The second part will be to control your costs. Boosting and protecting revenues are key components of managing your cash flow, and it's very easy during times of crisis to focus only on the protection of them, especially when people are locked down and almost nobody is traveling, as already mentioned. And this is the first natural reaction. But believe me when I say that even in such a crisis, there are opportunities for you to generate revenues. So here are our first 4 tips. We call them hacks at Hoist Group for managing cash flow during the Corona crisis. Hack number 1, chase, and chase again those account receivables. If you haven't done so already, create and implement a process for following them up. For those debts or those receivables that are close to their due date, as well as those that are already overdue. Check back through all your invoices and check again. Check with staff members if they're holding on to any invoices for services already delivered, and if they are, get them incorporated in this process. And of course, get all relevant and new invoices issued as soon as possible. Hack number 2, the joy of giving. Due to COVID-19, hotels are expected to offer refunds to their guests, even on previously non-refundable rates. Reference that Expedia mention I gave earlier. Why not offer them a gift card instead of a refund, especially if it's bundled with a value-added service that is a cheap option for you to trade as a concession? So instead of a €100 room night cash refund, where the cash physically goes out your door and back into the pocket of the guest on cancellation, offer them the option of a €125 gift card that can be redeemed at some stage in the future. Guests will love this extra value and they will come back. And what's more, and what's lovely about this is through offering them 125 as opposed to 100, not only do you entice them back, but most importantly, you don't physically send that €100 back. And that extra €25 could be the cost of a breakfast or a meal in your restaurant on property. So that is a relatively cheap concession for you to give at this point to conserve your cash for the future. Okay, make it worthwhile for the guest. If you do so, it won't look like a hard sell. So look to offer these extras that I just mentioned. If you've got a spa, if you've got other resources within the property, add those into the offer somewhere. Okay, make them feel as though they're getting some extra value. And on that note, we can't physically travel to the shops in many countries at the moment to buy presents for our loved ones, but their birthdays and anniversaries are not being furloughed. These things are still happening. Maybe a bundled gift card to a nice hotel would make for a lovely present. And there's a final sort of social aspect to this. Buying gift cards for your local hotel is an investment and a support for your local community in a time when that community is in dire need. So socially and morally, it's also a great thing to do. And many campaigns have sprung up across multiple countries where hospitality as a whole, not just hotels, but restaurants and the like, are initiating pay it forward type campaigns, and we at Givito from Hoist Group are very keen to participate in that, and it's definitely something you as a hotelier community should think about for yourselves as well. Number 3, get creative, make yourselves irresistible. Now is the time to get creative with your marketing, to beat the trends, to differentiate yourself against that competitive set. Get those future dated offers out to your guests, and maybe you could incorporate in your gift carding. Come up with some interesting ideas and proposals. Why don't you buy your beer now, drink it later? Or have you ever wanted to own a wine cellar? Now you can own a slice of one. Or even invest in your future, buy your night's sleep now. Hopefully you get the idea, but really sort of start to position your property with the benefit of these tools that we've discussed, and really start to market it in a different way. Hack number 4. Not available to all, but if you've got multiple properties, leverage this advantage in your revenue generation initiatives. Look to group similar properties together as a way to make your offers more attractive. So perhaps sell group-wide gift cards or offers that incorporate a selection of hotels to choose from. And maybe each hotel can have a different hidden or maybe not so hidden extra. And even if you don't have multiple properties, if you're a single owner operator of a hotel, talk to your neighbors, even your competitors, and see what you can pull together, because as I mentioned before, we are all in this together. Hack number 5. Well, whilst we've been talking about protecting and boosting revenues, and these are a key part of cash flow management, so is applying controls to your outgoings. So hack number 5 is now is the time to flick the switch. And on the next 4 hacks, we will focus on cost controls. Flick the switch, what do I mean? I mean, your number 1 priority has to be to turn off all non-essential services. Take a long, hard look at what you can do without. And before you turn entire services off, can you break it down? Are there elements of the services that can be paused or cancelled or suspended? And I'm sure the many partners you work with will be willing to try and find solutions to support you in this process that helps everybody to survive. Hack number 6, spread the cost. Especially if you're in the middle of a new infrastructure procurement program for your hotel, there are alternative options. Work with your suppliers to look at maybe delaying payments, or even better, understand if they're as a service or financing and leasing options. Why? Because you still need to invest in that service, but your cash flow is hit. Moving to a finance solution or leasing could allow you to install that new system, that new service, that new infrastructure, whatever it may be. And also spread the payments in equal installments over a longer term to manage that hit against your cash flow. As mentioned, we will emerge from this crisis, and what you'll come out with in that instance is an enhanced service quality for your guest, or your back of house experience, or whatever it is that you are upgrading, but done so in a way that's not going to be hit with a major capital outlay when you can least afford to do so. Hack number 7. Look at what the government is offering. I think many of you will have got very much involved in this now. And it's really interesting to see how governments throughout the world have reacted. Some have created some quite extraordinary support packages. My advice is check and check again. Make sure you know what your business is entitled to, as this is a fluid situation and the packages change. And they do so frequently. So consult your accountants. Get advice from your local and national trade and hospitality bodies on your eligibility and the process of claiming loans or grants, because these financial measures may just be enough to get you through this crisis. The final hack is to look at furloughs and other temporary staff reduction measures. Work with your staff to find a solution. Look into, again, government support for your staff and their salaries. See which staff can take voluntary leaves of absence or be considered as furloughed workers. And where possible, avoid laying them off, because when we come out of this, you will undoubtedly need those experienced workers to help steer your ship in the upturn. And remember, no matter how nice your hotel looks, or how good the breakfast tastes, or how much technology you've packed into the guest experience, it's frequently the people who work there that create the most lasting impression. So hiring new staff post-crisis is an option, of course, but training them and getting them up to speed is going to cost dearly to your business in the short to medium term. So really be cautious in letting go of those who've been running your show for you. So those are the 8 hacks on managing cash flow in the current crisis. We'll move to the next segment of the discussion, which will be led by Tero. So Tero, let me hand over to you and please take over.
Thank you, Simon. I will do my best to share my screen now. And hopefully you can see it. My desktop and
yeah, everything's good. Yeah,
great.
It's gone full screen mode.
Yes. Okay. Thanks. Yes. There's always some challenging moments when you're trying to share your screen. Okay. So let's go more deeper in how to select an effective gift card solution. I would start first discussing about the global megatrends at the moment. I would say that nowadays people are more and more, instead of pots and pans as a gift, they are concentrating on buying experiences and services as a gift. Well, luckily we are in the hospitality industry, which means that we are providing services and experiences. And when you start to consider a buying process of a human being, when they start to actually considering that I need to buy a gift. So typically it comes from your own experiences. You have been visiting in a hotel or nice restaurant and getting a nice service or a very good experience from that provider. So the buying process starts that they select first, okay, yes, I had an excellent service from that provider. Then they need to be sure that they are buying exactly the same good service that they were receiving earlier. So the buying process must feel like your brand and like your product. So make sure that the customer, the buying customer feels your brand when they're making selections. Okay, so there's got a lot of discussion about the online shops for gift cards, but that's one part of the whole story here. It's much more. I mean, you should not forget your accounting, because buying gift cards contains a lot of more things around accounting, like the gift card balances, sales reports, and redeeming the cards and so forth. And also start today. As Simon already told us, that people's need to buy presents and gifts is still there. Even at the Corona times, we still have birthdays, we still have graduation parties, and especially now people sitting at home and trying to think what to buy. An online solution, a gift card, is a perfect solution for that. Okay. So when to start to select a solution for selling gift cards in overall. So first things to think about is, does it allow you to sell online? So you need to have an online shop, and that it follows your property's branding. It has to have a core set basic features. So as discussed, it needs to support delivery processes, online, post, whatever, selling processes, and redeem the gift cards, and accounting and reporting functions. So those you need to remember to check very carefully, because selling online is just half of the picture. Okay, so it's not only about selling online. I mean, you should also sell from front desk, because people are still coming to your property. You should be able to send the cards maybe by post, as you are doing nowadays, or even from third parties. And we should not forget, for example, companies. For example, if you have company customers visiting frequently in your property, I mean, you should contact them and ask if they could give your gift cards as rewards to the personnel, for staff, or any other purposes. Okay, so one thing, it's not only about selling gift cards. Sometimes you get actually needs that no money is really involved, so no payment is actually done. As Simon told, that a very good way to actually, instead of refunds, is to give a gift card with more value than the actual original reservation was. Also, it's important that sometimes, even the best properties have some reclamations. So instead of giving money or anything else, you can actually give them a gift card. So you need to be able to create reclamation cards or presents on fly. Okay, so one important part of the gift card solution is that it has to come a ready-made solution, ready to go. I mean, quite typically, because it's paid online, you need a payment gateway, like Verifone, Adyen, or something else. Quite typically, it might take weeks or even months to get some payment options for your shop. Well, your gift card solution please make sure that it comes something with ready to go, which is low cost and up and running within a days, not weeks or months. Third parties that make sure that the payment gateway you select or use, delivers the money you pretty much instantly, not like every week or every month. We all need the cash now, not in 1 month. Also, we need to remember our staff. I mean, when the guest is coming with a gift card to your property, it must be very quick and easy to redeem the card or see the status of the cards. And also it has to remember and see the redemption dates and allow you to actually extend the expiry dates, because quite often customers are calling that my card is expiring today. Can I extend it to like next week when I'm coming, for example? So those functions must be easy to access and easy to do. So one quick question is that now, because the situation is what it is in the world, I mean, we don't afford and we should not wait for weeks to get these things alive. So here every day is lost revenue. So for example, we have one case in here in Hiisi Homes here in Finland that we take hold on Monday, and on Monday afternoon they had the online shop for the gift cards. Of course, that means that the customers was really dedicated also to do their job, but yes, it's possible. So even if there are these software as a service product models, you need to ensure that you can get your product in proper time. As also said, it's not all about online. Some guests will come to your front desk and ask for physical cards. So your system must also somehow handle all the physical cards done from the front desk. And we have a lot of customers providing plastic cards. So actually we have one customer who is providing wooden gift cards from the front desk. It's a restaurant Grön in Helsinki area. It's really fancy one. But that's possible, and you should make it sure that if you are doing that also, so that the system supports it. Of course, it has to be for your sales and accounting. It has to have all the reporting capabilities. It needs to be following by different sales channels, delivery types, and so forth. And especially when your accounting is really interested on the gift card debt balances and these kind of things, and VAT logs. And in the very end of the day, compare the total cost of ownership for the solution. It typically consists many parts, at least 5 or 6. One is setup fees from the solution itself, but also the integration cost to the website, for example, if there is some. Then the solution might have some recurring fees or even commissions or transaction fees. Then you need to consider the payment gateway costs. What is the payment gateway cost, monthly or commission or transactions? And in the very end of the day, how does the solution relieve your staff time, or does it actually increase the time? So the staff cost is also a part of the total cost of ownership. Okay, so those were some of the points we have collected, what you should consider while selecting a solution for gift cards. And now I have a short demos about the Givito, which is our solution for selling gift cards. And let's have a look. Now stop sharing this one. And can you see the Camp Collection website now?
Yes, there are. Everything's fine.
Great. So let's make some. Here's one example from Helsinki area. It's a chain of 10 hotels, and let's imagine that. Well, I was visiting there last month, some point, and it was a really nice room, and I could service from the front desk, and everything was fine. The great breakfast and so forth. And today I got. Suddenly I realized that, oh my God, there's my wife's birthday today, and I have an urgent need to get a present. So here is an example where they have really nicely collected all their services in one place. They have a hotel packages here, like weekend getaways, love packages, but they also have restaurant packages. So what I would like to do now for, it looks like nice weekend getaway at a Hotel Haven. So let's have a look more. It tells you what is actually included, and they are telling that there's some actually the sale coming, so you get more value with the same card. And then we just directly go to the payment phase, and I enter my data and ask if I want to get the PDF card directly to my email or have a plastic card delivered by post. I mean, now this is a perfect solution for me. I mean, I get right away the gift card to my email, and I can print it out and then pretend that yes, I was doing that like yesterday. But anyways, as you can see, it definitely looks like camp collection, feels like camp collection, and I can guarantee that this is now a good present that I'm buying. Let's have a couple of other examples. Here is, for example, a hotel from Sweden. They have a really nice website and nice products here. Unfortunately, they are in Swedish, but I guess you can see from the pictures that what they are. Or then we have another restaurant in Helsinki, for example, where they have a really nice products here as a menus and menus with drinks and these kind of things. So as you can see that they're really putting the web shop, the gift card shop to look like and feel like them. And what I will eventually get, because I was buying that gift to my wife. So here is some examples of gift cards where they are really simple sticks one, but really nice ones, making them look like them, having all the contents there. And now I can just print it out and give to my wife. Okay, so let's have a look what happens behind the scenes then. So now I have this nice card. My wife goes to the hotel itself in Camp Collection and a Fabian, and comes to the front desk. So and now she's presenting the gift card for the front desk, and the front desk going to the redeeming. Takes the card number from the card, types it in, sees that there is a card. This is now for champagne tasting. Anyways, then we can redeem it partially or fully, quick and easy, and now it's done. So now I can welcome my wife in the hotel, and we can enjoy our weekend. So that's very straightforward and easy. Let's have another case then. So this is the not so fun part, but I mean sometimes we have cases where you actually have to have a reclamation card, for example, that my wife wasn't, for example, not that satisfaction with the service, which is very rare, of course. But and typically she's more not happy with me. But anyway, so instead of we just hear her complaints, we would like to give them, oh, this is a quite expensive card. So we can go in the shop, in the front desk, and simply give her a reclamation card saying that this was now, she was not happy this time. And then we just create a card by pushing that button. So it's very fast and easy to create, for example, reclamation cards in here. Okay, let's take another case. As we discussed that now we have a reservation. A customer contacts us and wants to say that I would like to cancel my reservation. So instead of canceling or refunding, we say that why not? If your reservation is worth of 200 euros now, what if we give you 250 euros instead, and you come maybe next year? Yes, that sounds like a good idea. So let's go here, choose amount. I will give 250 euros. Insert the details of the customer, of course, because we want to also send her email later. Send that the PDF and choose gift card instant refunding. And that's it. Then we just click here and the customer is happy and getting the new gift card, and that she will use maybe next year. So that was a very quick look on how to redeem and making some sales from front desk, for example, and refunding. So of course we have a full-scale reports. Now your sales department wants to see that how much we were selling like last month. You can check, she wants to check all the based on the purchase date or all the emails, for example. And there's a lot of filters in here. And then we just click show report. And now we can see all the gift cards that has been sold from by sending by email from the web shop. So there's all the tools that your sales will need for that, for reporting all these cards sold. Then we have a bookkeeping reports where your accountant can go and see, what was your debt balance, for example, the 1st of March in Finland or in Denmark, if you have a different departments, for example, or they can take the VAT report if your gift cards or products in the shop are including VAT. So there's all the tools your accounting is needing. At the end of the day, when you want to have actually control your products, so you want to create a new offer, for example, in your gift card shop, just go here in the admin tool and you can control any of your products and change their properties and translations, for example. So that was a very quick overlook on the Givito product and what was about the points you should really consider when choosing a solution. And I'm giving now to speak for Matt. And thank you for the listening.
Thank you, Tero. I believe Simon has a few more words to say.
Yeah. Can you see my screen? I should be presenting again.
Yes, Simon, we can see your screen.
Okay, well, firstly, thanks for listening. In summary, let's just recap on a couple of things. Let's recap on the 8 hacks that we mentioned, okay? Hack number 1 is chase, chase, and chase again those accounts receivable. Hack number 2, consider gift cards as an option. Hack number 3, work on your marketing and your presence. Make yourselves irresistible. Hack number 4, if you've got multiple properties, leverage that. If you haven't, and if you can bear to, work with some of your neighbors. Hack number 5, flick the switch on non-essential services. Hack number 6, spread the cost of new programs wherever you possibly can. Hack number 7, talk to the government, talk to the banks, see what grants and loans are available. And hack number 8, try and retain your staff and leverage whatever government or social measures are available to you to do so. Obviously, that does vary from country to country. As regards Givito from Hoist Group, as you just saw, it's well, frankly, we think it's a best-in-class gift card platform. Don't take my word for it. Please do your comparisons, and I'm sure you'll quickly agree. We've set it up so that you can take advantage of it very, very quickly. As Tero mentioned, we can get you up and running in a day in some cases, okay? And everything is pre-packaged and ready to go off the shelf. Sure, it may not be with your preferred credit card transaction handler for now, but let's worry about that later, because every day lost is a day where more cash flow is flowing out of your business. And we think you should avoid that. What's more, to help the community of hospitality in these very troubling times, Hoist Group has decided to offer the package of Givito free to all customers and even non-customers until the end of September this year. So we will handle your setup costs, we will get you up and running, and you'll be able to create these packages to help retain your cash and protect it and maybe even grow it. Without having to pay us anything. And if you want to carry on from 1st of October, depending on what it is ultimately that you want to set up. We'll have a discussion later in the year. There's no obligation for you to carry on either. Okay. So it means that you can take advantage of this great service. As you saw just now, it's so web-centric and thought through. We didn't go into the app and all the other functions and features of which there are many. It is designed for simple use and to get you up and running quickly. Take advantage of it now and do it for free and start to help yourselves in this time of great need. I would like to thank you for listening to us. If you'd like a call back, please write to us. You can write to marketing@hoistgroup.com or go to the website at hoistgroup.com/Givito and fill in the web forms there. We'd be absolutely delighted to call you back. Also get in touch with your local Hoist Group representative. Givito from Hoist Group is a relatively new product, but we've done intensive training on it recently for all our staff, so everybody should be up to speed now. We'd like now to take a few minutes to open up the floor to you, the audience, for any questions that you have. So once again, thank you for listening, and please don't hesitate to ask us any questions at all.
Thank you, Simon. So please feel free to use the question and answers fields to post your questions. And while waiting for that, I would just like to ask Tero once again, how soon can my hotel go live with our gift card solution? How soon can it actually happen?
Well, typically delivery is anything between 1 to 5 working days. I mean, because it also means commitment from the customer, delivering us the details we need. But as I said, in the best case scenario, it can be done in 1 working day. But typical cases like 3 to 5 working days when we get all the data from the customer, and then you can actually start to sell.
Perfect. And one more question, Tero, is Givito available in whole Europe?
At least mainly in Nordic countries and all the hoist countries, and at the moment at least.
Thank you, Tero. Still waiting for questions from the floor, so I have here one more. Can customers save their gift cards to their mobile wallets? As we know, mobile things are very important nowadays, and so can we save the gift cards on our mobiles?
You can always save that in the wallet from the gift card itself, because you have a 2-year code. You can do that from the Givito website, yes.
Okay.
There's one more question, Tero, from the floor. What is the typical percentage increase in revenue when a hotel implements the service?
Well, that's a good question. It depends a bit about the hotel, but we can definitely see that first of all, you need to start to market it. It's not enough just to put on the website. You need to tell to the customers and your website in marketing that you now are possible to sell, to buy your gift cards from online, for example. But typically, I would say that everything from 10% to 300. I mean, we have cases where customers almost like half of their turnover is gift cards. So it's only the sky is the limit, really. But typically, we are talking in tens of %.
Cool. Simon, one question for you. Can you emphasize once again, what does it exactly mean, free until 30th of September?
Yeah, it means exactly that. Normally, with a solution like this, there'll be a one-off setup fee and a recurring fee to the hotel, which is more than covered by the revenues that the hotel makes from it. We are not going to levy any of those fees whatsoever until the 1st of October, and we will only levy those fees if you elect, and it's your choice, to continue. So you've got absolutely nothing to lose between now and the 1st of October, because whatever you do and however much revenue you make, other than any credit card transaction fees, which is a tiny percentage of it, you get to keep all of that. Hoist Group keeps none of it. We think you'll love it, which is why also we've come up with this offer, and we think that you'll want to carry on with it from 1st of October. But most importantly, right now, we want to focus on helping you get through this crisis. So free means free, and that's the end of it.
Thank you, Simon. Tara, one more question for you. Does Hoist provide pre-printed gift cards, wallets to give to guests if purchased at the property?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yes, of course. Does Hoist provide pre-printed gift cards, wallets to give to the guests if purchased at the property, or does it stay on the hotel side?
It stays on the hotel side. I mean, we are not providing any pre-printed cards, and you can still use your preferred partner, if you have done that earlier. And of course, we have in different countries, you might have some partners to do that. And we are enlarging that network in the long, but the Hoist is not really providing those cards at the moment.
Sure. And one more question on training. You showed the CMS of Givito. Do we provide any training for the front desk staff? Is this included in our offering?
Yeah, well, we can. We have a very good videos and manuals for the use that. And typically, I mean, our customers, they start without any training. But of course, you can have some training, online training especially. But that's still that we might have some country per country some fees for that, because that's, of course, it approximately usually takes 45 minutes to 1 hour. But we can definitely provide training if the videos and the manuals not enough for to use it. But I would say that the 90% of our customers just take it and start to use it.
Cool, thank you, Tero. I think that's quite interesting question on the fact if the service is integrated with any point of sale systems for redemptions or vouchers.
Yes, in the Nordic countries, we have a couple of POS systems and we have full APIs. So if there is a POS system provider who would like to integrate, we are more than welcome to take them. And in the September onwards, we also have an integration to Hotsoft 8 also. So the redemption, for example, can be directly done from Hotsoft 8. But yes, as I said, we have full APIs also. So if you want to create your own solutions or discuss with your POS system provider, we have APIs for the solution.
Let's take 2 more questions. What is the average percentage of gift card revenue that is not redeemed?
That depends on a bit about the business and the countries, but I would say here in Finland, for example, it's all from 20 to 30%, depending a bit from the business that is not really redeemed. So that's pure profit for and it's your profit.
Sure. And from your experience, is this solution suitable for mid-range type of hotels or for every hotel? How do you find your customers so far?
Well, I think it's suitable for everybody because we have customers like, you know, for 30 rooms or 20 rooms even, but we also having a chain of 220 restaurants with more than 110 companies. So it's a very wide variety of customers, and I think it's suitable for everybody. I mean, said gift cards is pretty unique. I mean, pretty common tool. So I don't see any obstacles. Why not? Everybody could sell gift cards.
Yeah, certainly in our strategic thinking, part of the reason we bought Tero's company last year to bring this capability into Hoist Group was how ubiquitous this is. It doesn't matter what your operation is if you've got something to sell, regardless of your star rating, Givito applies.
Cool. I think we've covered quite a lot when it comes to the questions. Simon, some final words?
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of reiterate again my gratefulness to those of you that have stuck with us through the webinar. I know these are very testing times for all of us, so I just wanted to say thank you. We are now live with this offer. Just to reiterate, we have created a package for you that is completely free of charge between now and the end of September. Obviously, if you're looking for any sort of bespoke integrations, there may be additional costs for that, but that's something to be discussed with your local hoist representative. But we think we have something that is more than enough to get you up and running very viably right now for free with gift cards for the coming months, that will allow you to protect and even grow your revenues. So please do get in touch with us. Please do find out more. We are more than happy to help, and we want you to take up as much or as many of you as possible to take up this offer. So thank you very much for your time.